The lawyers representing the first respondent in Amama Mbabazi's election petition, candidate Yoweri Museveni, began their defense before the Supreme Court. Led by Kiwanuka, Museveni's lawyers tackled the four offenses raised by the petition against President Yoweri Museveni, which include bribery by giving of hoes, bribery by distribution of 250,000 Uganda shillings per village countrywide, organizing people to interfere, threatening of the petitioner and his supporters. The petitioner had also said that the Electoral Commission National Identity Card was used opposed to National Voter Register, illegal nomination of candidate Museveni, led delivery of polling materials, and the tallying of electoral poll results.
Delivery of materials starting on the 15th, so that the materials in Kabong, the farthest point, will be used at the same time as the materials in the nearest point in Kampala. So they started with the farthest point for 17, and the schedule is set out. 17, 15, 16, and 17. He goes on to say, paragraph 11 and 12, that the delay in Kampala was because they miscalculated the time that would be required to produce these new DRR forms.
Kiwanuka cited Article 61 and 62 of the Constitution that gives the Electoral Commission mandate and independence to compile a national voter register. He argued that Section 26 is not mandatory, but directory. Section 35 is a provision that requires identification. In Uganda today, by virtue of the Registration of Persons Act, participation in a national exercise requires to have an identification. Despite a spirited defense by the lawyers, the bench raised concerns on what the Electoral Commission did to mitigate fears on the delays of delivery of material to Kampala and Wakiso. On tallying and declaration of the poll results, the defense lawyers insist on the law that provides for use of electronics transmission but put on spot Section 5 of the Electronic Transactions Act 2011. The defense lawyers submitted that there was no bribery at all, with no evidence to adduce it. Museveni was nominated according to law, and that the Constitution gives duty and mandate to organize and oppose the motion for lacking merit, and prayed that court dismisses it with cost. Court adjourned at 4 hours and resumed at 2:30 hours to continue with the respondent submissions. Aaron Stavarka, WBS Television, the Supreme Court in Kampala.